The Stoic Principles for Immediate Life Transformation. Did you know that the secret to transforming your life's biggest challenges into your most significant opportunities may have been discovered over 2,000 years ago? Imagine facing life's storms with such calm that nothing could shake your inner peace. Sounds like a superpower, right? Well, it's not just a fantasy. This ancient superpower is an age-old philosophy that remains as practical today as it was in the bustling markets and marble halls of ancient Rome and Greece. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control every aspect of our lives, we can control our responses to them. We have absolute power over how we choose to react, and in today's world, where uncertainty seems to be the only certainty, these teachings can serve as an anchor. We've all been searching for what if I told you that Stoicism is more about action than thought. It is about living a life filled with purpose, resilience, and happiness, regardless of what life throws your way. It's not about suppressing your emotions, but about understanding and managing them to lead a more fulfilling life. So, stick around. Whether you're dealing with stress, facing adversity, or simply seeking to find more joy in everyday life, stick around. Today we're delving into Stoicism, uncovering its timeless wisdom and exploring how it can transform not just how we think, but also how we live. If you're eager to embark on this transformation journey, don't forget to subscribe, share, and hit that like button. Please stay with me until the end without skipping ahead, as every moment of this video is a step toward uncovering the Stoic wisdom that can transform your life. Have you ever found yourself stuck in traffic, fuming over the delay, or scrolling through your phone only to feel upset over a negative comment someone left on your post? It happens to the best of us. It's as if our daily lives are filled with these little tests, constantly challenging our mood and peace of mind. But there's a game-changing perspective from the world of Stoicism that can turn all that frustration on its head. Stoicism, this remarkable philosophy that dates back to ancient Greece and Rome, provides us with a powerful tool, focusing on what is within our control. The great Stoic philosopher Epictetus, a resilient formerly enslaved person turned teacher, once said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it. That matters." Think about that for a second. Traffic, bad weather, negative comments, these are all outside our control. We cannot change them, no matter how much we wish we could. What we can change, however, is how we react to them. This idea isn't just ancient wisdom, it's also backed by modern psychology. Carl Jung, a giant in the field of psychology, famously stated, "I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become." This aligns perfectly with the Stoic practice. It's about recognizing that only real power is over our reactions, thoughts, and actions. Let's break it down a bit. Say you're in that traffic jam, late for an important meeting. You can spend that time stewing in anger, honking your horn and stressing out, which won't make the cars ahead move any faster. Or you can take a deep breath, accept the situation, and use the time to listen to a podcast, an audiobook, or enjoy some music. The traffic hasn't changed, but your response to it has. With that shift, your stress levels drop, and your day seems a bit brighter. This Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control extends far beyond just dealing with traffic or weather. It applies to our personal goals, our responses to others, and our approach to life's obstacles. As Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, and another Stoic heavyweight reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realizing this can help you find strength. So the next time you find yourself getting worked up over something outside your control, remember these wise words from our Stoic friends. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If not, shift your focus to your reactions, mindset, and actions. This simple change can profoundly impact your stress levels and overall happiness. It is not always easy, however, it's worth practicing every day. Remember, it's about progress, not perfection, As we focus more on what is under our control, we will find ourselves not just surviving life's challenges, but thriving despite them. Stoicism teaches us the art of embracing obstacles as opportunities for growth. It sounds counterintuitive, right? Most of us are programmed to view obstacles as just that, barriers to our success and happiness. However, Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor Seneca, the wise Roman thinker, and Epictetus, the resilient formerly enslaved person turned teacher, flip this narrative on its head. When life presents us with unexpected challenges, we should ask, why me? Rather than asking, what can I learn? This shift in perspective can be transformative. The Roman Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius famously wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." His insight suggests that every obstacle, no matter how intimidating, tests our resilience and imparts invaluable lessons. It encourages us to seek the silver lining in difficult circumstances and use it as a catalyst for our personal growth. This philosophy is not solely rooted in ancient thought. It is also reflected in the ideas of contemporary thinkers. The esteemed psychologist Carl Jung remarked, "What you resist persists." By battling against our challenges, we inadvertently empower them. However, by embracing and learning from these experiences, we can ultimately overcome them. This Stoic mindset invites us to transform challenges into stepping stones that lead to greater strength and wisdom. Let's make it practical. Say you're facing rejection from job applications. It's easy to fall into a spiral of self-pity and doubt. But what if you viewed each rejection as feedback? Perhaps there's a skill you need to develop or a new approach to your job search that you should consider. That shift in perspective can transform a series of rejections into a pathway for professional development. Another example is personal conflicts. They are uncomfortable and stressful, but they also provide an opportunity to practice patience, empathy, and practical communication skills. Every disagreement presents a chance to understand different viewpoints and refine our ability to resolve conflicts. The essence of embracing obstacles as opportunities lies in asking ourselves, what can I learn from this situation? Instead of being passive victims of circumstance, we become active learners and problem solvers. This doesn't mean that facing obstacles becomes easy. It simply means that we approach them with a mindset geared towards growth and learning. Epictetus, the resilient formerly enslaved person turned teacher, once said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is the heart of Stoicism. It is about seeing beyond an obstacle's immediate pain or frustration of an obstacle and finding the lessons and opportunities it presents. So, when you face a challenge, big or small, try to pause and reframe it. Ask yourself what you can learn from the situation and how it can make you stronger and wiser. Remember, obstacles aren't just hurdles to overcome, they are growth opportunities. By adopting a Stoic mindset, we can navigate life's ups and downs more effectively with greater grace, resilience, and wisdom. It's something we hear about all the time, right? Live in the now. But what does that mean, and why is it so important? Living in the present moment is about fully embracing and experiencing where you are at this very second, without letting your mind wander off to the worries of tomorrow or the regrets of yesterday. It involves realizing that life, with all its beauty, challenges, and surprises, unfolds in the present moment. This concept isn't new. It has long been a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, echoed by great minds such as Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, Seneca, the renowned Roman philosopher, and Epictetus, the resilient former slave who became a teacher, emphasize the importance of living in the present. Modern psychologists and thinkers have also reiterated this idea. Let's start with the ancient Stoic philosophers. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, once said, Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. He understood that the power of living in the present lies in its ability to ground us, clear our minds of distractions, and allow us to appreciate the richness of life as it unfolds. But why is it so hard to stay present? Our minds are often cluttered with thoughts and worries about what's next, or replaying past events. This constant mental noise distracts us from the beauty and potential of the present moment. As the famous psychologist Carl Jung put it, the least of things with a meaning is worth more in life than the greatest of things without it. Living in the present moment adds meaning to the small everyday experiences, enriching our lives beyond measure. Aristotle emphasized the importance of being mindful of the present to achieve eudaimonia, or a state of being happy, healthy, and prosperous. He believed that by focusing on the present moment, we could lead a virtuous life, making the most of our human experience. So, how can we learn to live in the present? It starts with mindfulness, the art of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. When you eat, savor each bite. When you walk, notice the sensation of the ground beneath your feet. Listen actively when someone is speaking to you, rather than planning what you will say next. These simple acts of mindfulness bring us back to the present, enriching our lives and making them more meaningful. Seneca offered this wisdom. True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. He understood that anxiety about what's to come, or what has been, only diminishes our present happiness. Living in the present isn't about ignoring the future or forgetting the past. It's about finding a balance where we learn from our past and plan for our future, without allowing those activities to consume our present. It's in this balance that we find peace and contentment. Remember, every moment is an opportunity to reset and refocus on the now. We live, love, and make memories in the present, so let's make a conscious effort to be more present in our lives. Let's cherish the present. Right here is where life truly unfolds. I know the phrase self-discipline might conjure images of rigid schedules and a life devoid of enjoyment, but let's work together to reshape that perception. Self-discipline is not about limiting your life, but empowering yourself to make choices that align with your deepest values and long-term goals. It's about choosing what's right for you, not what's easy in the moment. At its core, building self-discipline involves mastering ourselves. It requires saying yes to things that serve us and no to things that don't, even when it's tough. Consider this. Whether it's adhering to a workout routine, saving money instead of making impulse purchases, or turning off Netflix to focus on a project, these choices may not deliver instant gratification, but they pave the way for long-term satisfaction and success. Stoic philosophy offers much insight into self-discipline. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor of Rome, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This powerful statement encapsulates the essence of self-discipline, which involves controlling our impulses, emotions, and actions despite life's external temptations and distractions that life presents. Seneca also offers insight on the subject. He advises us to be steadfast and control our desires rather than letting them control us. He understands that true freedom comes from within, from our ability to govern ourselves and our appetites. But why is self-discipline so critical? Aristotle, the ancient Greek philosopher, sheds light on this. He believed that we achieve excellence and virtue through consistent practice and habit. By practicing self-discipline, we cultivate habits that lead us toward our best selves. It is not about occasional acts of willpower, but about consistently making choices that reflect our values and goals. Building self-discipline also ties into modern psychological understanding. Carl Jung, a pioneer in psychology, emphasize the importance of integrating all aspects of our personality to live a fully integrated life. This integration requires self-discipline, as we must navigate the desires of different parts of our psyche and choose paths that contribute to our overall well-being and growth. How can we cultivate self-discipline in our daily lives? Start small by selecting one area to improve, such as your diet, exercise routine, or spending habits. Set clear, achievable goals and tackle them one day at a time. Remember, each time you choose to align with your goals, you're taking a step toward achieving them. You're building the muscle of self-discipline. Epictetus reminds us that no great thing is created suddenly. Self-discipline is built through small, consistent actions. It is about progress, not perfection. Every day presents new opportunities to practice self-discipline and choose actions that move us closer to who we want to be. Building self-discipline is a journey. It's about balancing what we want now and what we truly desire most. It's about making choices that may be difficult in the moment, but will ultimately bring us closer to our goals, happiness, and peace in the long run. So, let's embark on this journey together, supporting one another in making the right choices, not the easy ones. Remember, in the realm of self-discipline lies the path to achieving our dreams and living a life we truly love. When life throws us curveballs, we all experience a whirlwind of emotions. Feeling angry, sad, or frustrated is a natural part of being human, but there's the kicker. It's not just about the feelings, but also how we handle them. That's where the magic of emotional resilience comes in. Emotional resilience is like a superpower that allows us to navigate life's storms gracefully and emerge stronger on the other side. It involves acknowledging our emotions, understanding them, and then taking positive steps to move forward, rather than being swept away by the tide of our feelings. The ancient Stoic philosophers had much to say on this matter. For example, Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, for instance, reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This profound insight touches the essence of emotional resilience. Recognizing that we may not have control over what happens to us, yet we do control our responses, is vital. Our emotions do not need to dictate our actions. The wise Roman philosopher Seneca provides valuable insights on how to face adversity while maintaining our composure. He emphasizes that the hardships we encounter test our character and resilience. We can emerge wiser and stronger by approaching our feelings with understanding and patience. We can emerge wiser and stronger. But how can we cultivate this emotional resilience? It begins with self-awareness. By being mindful of our emotions and reactions, we can better understand ourselves. It's perfectly natural to feel the emotions we experience. However, rather than reacting impulsively, we can choose to respond in ways that align with our values and support our long-term well-being. Aristotle's idea of the golden mean illustrates this beautifully, emphasizing striking a balance between excess and deficiency. This concept is especially relevant to emotional resilience, highlighting the importance of responding to our emotions in a balanced manner, rather than suppressing or being overwhelmed by them. Carl Jung emphasized the importance of integration, which involves acknowledging, understanding, and learning from our emotions. This process is central to developing emotional resilience. So, what can you do when you're overwhelmed by intense emotions? First, allow yourself to feel. Acknowledge your feelings without passing judgment. Next, take a step back to reflect on the triggers behind these emotions. Such reflection can provide valuable insights into your emotional patterns and triggers. Epictetus wisely stated, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is a poignant reminder that our reactions to our emotions significantly shape our experiences. Instead of being reactive, we can choose a constructive and healing response. Developing emotional resilience requires mindfulness, self-reflection, and considerable patience. It involves building a toolkit of coping strategies, such as journaling, confiding in a trusted friend, or practicing relaxation techniques that can support us along the way. Most importantly, treating yourself with kindness and compassion is essential as you navigate your emotions. Emotional resilience is not about avoiding negative feelings, but rather about learning to manage them gracefully, ultimately becoming more assertive and more self-aware. By cultivating emotional resilience, we empower ourselves to face life's challenges with courage and poise. Let's embark on this journey together, supporting one another in becoming more emotionally resilient and, in turn, leading more fulfilling lives. The ancient Stoic philosophers embraced this concept not to instill fear, but to inspire a profound appreciation for each moment. They believed that by acknowledging the inevitability of death, we could live more fully, consciously, and with gratitude for the present. Marcus Aurelius frequently reflected on the transience of life in his Meditations, urging readers to live in accordance with their values and make the most of their time. He noted, "You could leave life right now. Let that be the determining factor in what you do, say, and think." This sentiment is not about adopting a morose outlook. Instead, it is a call to action, a reminder to focus on what truly matters, to release ourselves from petty concerns, and to live with purpose and integrity. The text similarly highlights the brevity of life, urging us not to waste time on trivial matters, but to cultivate a meaningful existence. It posits that a mindful awareness of death encourages us to live more wisely, valuing our relationships and the experiences they bring. Epictetus emphasized the importance of focusing on the present and maximizing our time. By recognizing the finiteness of our lives, we are more inclined to live ethically and to appreciate the beauty and richness that life has to offer. How can we embrace the concept of memento mori without allowing it to overshadow our existence? It starts with a shift in perspective. Instead of perceiving the awareness of death as something fearsome, we can view it as a powerful motivator to live our lives to the fullest. It's about embracing the present and not postponing our dreams or happiness for an uncertain future that may never arrive. Reflect on the things you've been delaying. Perhaps it's pursuing a passion, reconnecting with loved ones, or simply taking time to savor the small joys of everyday life. Memento mori serves as a reminder not to take our time for granted. It encourages us to live more authentically, express ourselves, honestly love openly, and be fully present in our lives. This concept also teaches us to appreciate the impermanence of life, enhancing our gratitude for the moments we have. When we recognize that our time is limited, we are more likely to cherish our experiences, live mindfully, and express gratitude for the people and moments that enrich our lives. Therefore, let us view the concept of memento mori not as a source of fear, but as a catalyst for growth, gratitude, and a deeper appreciation of life. May it inspire us to make choices that align with our deepest values, cherish our relationships, and savor the beauty of the present moment. Remembering that we will one day pass encourages us to live more fully today. In embracing the concept of memento mori, we find a powerful reminder to live not in fear of death, but in celebration of life. Let's make every moment count, not from a fear of its end, but from a profound love for life itself. Let's live in a way that when our time comes, we can look back with no regrets, knowing we lived fully, loved deeply, and appreciated the incredible journey that life is. It's fascinating how a simple concept can have such a profound impact on our lives. This involves shifting our focus to what we have, rather than dwelling on what we're missing. This practice can be a real game changer, especially on those days that feel like an uphill battle. The ancient Stoic philosophers had much to say about gratitude, offering timeless wisdom that remains relevant today. They believed that happiness does not stem from acquiring more, but from appreciating what we already possess. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, frequently emphasized the importance of living in the present and finding joy in life's simple pleasures. He remarked, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, breathe, think, enjoy love." This encapsulates gratitude in its purest form, recognizing the inherent value of life and the myriad gifts it offers us each day. Seneca warned against the pitfalls of desire, which can lead us astray in our constant pursuit of more, leaving us devoid of genuine satisfaction. He advocated for focusing on what we have, arguing that true contentment lies in understanding that the best aspects of life are often already within our reach. Meanwhile, Epictetus, the resilient formerly enslaved person who became a respected teacher of Stoic thought, encouraged his followers to appreciate their current circumstances, regardless of their challenges. He believed that by accepting and finding value in our present situation, we can achieve a more profound sense of fulfillment. We can lead more fulfilling lives. But how do we cultivate gratitude, especially in the face of life's unexpected challenges? It starts by incorporating gratitude into our daily routine. Each morning or evening, take a moment to reflect on 3 things for which you are grateful. These could be as simple as savoring a warm cup of coffee, engaging in a meaningful conversation with a friend, or admiring the beauty of a sunset. This practice helps rewire our brains to focus on the positive, thereby enhancing our mood and overall outlook on life. Moreover, gratitude involves embracing challenges and seeking lessons within them. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we can shift our perspective to, "What can I learn from this?" This change in mindset allows us to appreciate our experiences, both the good and the bad, as valuable steps along our journey. Furthermore, practicing gratitude deepens our connections with others. By expressing appreciation for the individuals in our lives, we uplift their spirits and strengthen our relationships. A simple "thank you" can have a profound effect, signaling to someone that they are valued and cherished. Aristotle emphasized the importance of acknowledging the positive aspects of our lives and striving for a virtuous existence. He viewed gratitude as a vital component in achieving eudaimonia, or true happiness, as it allows us to appreciate the goodness surrounding us and within ourselves. Contemporary psychology supports these insights, showing that individuals who regularly practice gratitude tend to experience lower levels of anxiety, improved sleep quality, and a more optimistic outlook on life. As Carl Jung astutely remarked, the word happiness would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. We can cultivate a more profound sense of fulfillment and meaning by acknowledging and valuing the full spectrum of life's experiences. We can cultivate a more profound sense of fulfillment and meaning. In the tapestry of our experiences, we uncover a deeper, more authentic form of happiness. Let us make gratitude a foundational element of our daily lives. We should celebrate small victories, cherish moments of connection, and find joy in the simple pleasures that life bestows upon us. By focusing on what we have rather than what we lack, we can cultivate a sense of abundance and happiness that radiates from within. Remember, it is not happiness that evokes our gratitude. Rather, it is gratitude that fosters our joy and happiness. Let us fill our glasses to the brim, raise them high, and toast to the beauty of appreciation in our lives. Here's to discovering the silver lining even on the cloudiest of days. The ancient Stoic philosophers possessed a profound understanding of personal excellence. They believed that virtue is the ultimate good, and that all our actions should strive to lead a virtuous life. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, exemplified this pursuit of personal excellence. He famously stated, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This succinct yet powerful phrase captures the essence of personal excellence, emphasizing the embodiment of our values and the consistent striving to live by them. Seneca highlighted the significance of self-improvement and lifelong learning. He advocated for a life in harmony with nature and reason, asserting that true excellence originates from within and is evident in our actions and decisions. Epictetus, a resilient figure who overcame the hardships of enslavement to become a renowned teacher, emphasized the importance of personal responsibility in achieving excellence. He taught that our reactions, emotions, and will are within our control, and mastering these elements is essential to living a virtuous life. But what does focusing on personal excellence look like in our everyday lives? It begins with establishing personal standards rooted in our values and aspirations, rather than conforming to societal expectations or the accomplishments of others. It entails self-awareness, knowing our strengths and weaknesses, and taking consistent steps toward improvement. Personal excellence also involves resilience, encompassing our responses to setbacks, failures, and successes alike. As Aristotle noted, excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution. Ultimately, it represents the wise selection of many alternatives. Remember, it is choice, not chance, that determines your destiny. This means embracing challenges as opportunities to learn and grow, rather than viewing them as obstacles. Additionally, focusing on personal excellence involves cultivating a growth mindset, a concept championed by modern psychology. This mindset believes that our abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. This mindset encourages us to embrace challenges, persist in the face of setbacks, and view effort as a path to mastery. Personal excellence also entails living authentically. It is about being true to ourselves and our values, even when difficult. It's about making choices that reflect who we are and who we want to be, and taking pride in our journey, including struggles and triumphs. Practicing gratitude, as discussed earlier, also connects to personal excellence. By appreciating what we have and where we are on our journey, we cultivate a positive outlook that supports our growth and well-being. So let's commit to focusing on personal excellence. Let's set our standards, embrace our unique paths, and take pride in our progress. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being proud of who we are and how we live. It's about celebrating our efforts, learning from our experiences, and striving to be our best versions. Together, let's make personal excellence a goal and a way of life. In a world saturated with social media, where likes, follows, and comments often dictate our self-worth, it's easy to fall into the trap of valuing ourselves through the lens of others' opinions. However, here's a liberating truth. Your worth isn't based on external validation. It's about being true to yourself, embracing your authenticity, and living in alignment with your values. The ancient Stoic philosophers, whom we continually turn to for timeless wisdom, had much to say on this matter. They taught that our inner peace and freedom come from focusing on what is within our control, our actions, thoughts, and integrity, rather than the fluctuating opinions of others. Marcus Aurelius profoundly observed, "I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, yet he places less value on his self-assessment than on the opinions of others." This striking observation underscores a common paradox. Many of us tend to prioritize others' judgments over our evaluations. Seneca, the wise Roman philosopher, echoed this thought, stressing the importance of living authentically rather than conforming to the expectations or approval of others. He believed that genuine contentment derives from within and is rooted in a life that aligns with our principles and values. Epictetus, a resilient formerly enslaved person who became a teacher, taught that worrying about others' opinions is beyond our control and therefore unworthy of our energy. He advocated for focusing on our actions and pursuing virtue, as that is where our true power resides. So, how do we begin to care less about what others think and focus more on being true to ourselves? It starts with recognizing that you are the author of your own life story. You can define your worth, not society, your social media followers, or those around you. It involves grounding your self-esteem in your true self and the values you uphold. The kindness you spread and the effort you invest in being your best self emphasize the importance of self-reflection. Ask yourself, whose life am I living? Am I making choices based on my desires, or am I trying to fit into someone else's mold? Reflecting on these questions can help align your actions with your true self. Embrace vulnerability. Being true to yourself means being open about your flaws and recognizing that perfection is an illusion. It's okay to be a work in progress, making mistakes and learning from them. This authenticity attracts the right people into your life, those who appreciate the real you. Moreover, recall the words of Aristotle, who spoke about the golden mean, emphasizing the importance of finding balance in life. Applying this to our concern for others' opinions involves finding a healthy balance between considering constructive feedback and maintaining our autonomy and self-worth. Incorporating a Stoic mindset into our lives means understanding that our worth is determined by our virtues, actions, and commitment to living a meaningful life, rather than by external accolades or approval. It entails building a strong inner fortress that remains unshaken by the fleeting opinions of others. Let's commit to valuing ourselves for who we truly are, not for the likes, follows, or approval we receive. Let's be courageous in our authenticity, living lives that resonate with our most profound truths. Remember, your worth is inherent and unique, and by being true to yourself, you shine your light in the most genuine way possible. Let's not just navigate life, but thrive in it, with the confidence that comes from knowing we live authentically, are aligned with our values, and are true to ourselves. Here's the thing, accepting change is not just necessary, it's vital for our growth and happiness. The reality is that the only constant in life is change. Learning to go with the flow and embrace life's inevitable shifts makes navigating through them less scary and more of an adventure. The ancient Stoic philosophers had a remarkably healthy perspective on change. They viewed it as a natural part of the universe's rhythm. Marcus Aurelius said, "Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs?" This profound acceptance of change as an integral part of life helps us understand that each change has its place in our story. Whether we perceive it as positive or negative, has its place in our story. Seneca, the wise Roman thinker, taught that becoming too attached to our current circumstances can lead to disappointment, as those circumstances are inevitably subject to change. He advised us to be flexible and to understand that change is not just a part of life, but a necessary component of our personal development and happiness. Epictetus, the resilient former slave-turned-teacher, encouraged us to distinguish between what we can control and what we cannot. He pointed out that while we cannot control external events, we can control our attitudes toward them. This mindset is incredibly empowering when it comes to dealing with change. It involves focusing on our responses, identifying opportunities for growth within the change, and moving forward with resilience. But how can we become more accepting of change? First, it is essential to acknowledge that change is inevitable. It's the natural order of things. Everything around us is constantly in flux. Seasons change, people come and go, and ourselves renew themselves as we speak. Embracing change means embracing life itself. Second, by practicing mindfulness. Being present in the moment allows us to appreciate our current experiences without clinging to them. This awareness creates space for acceptance when those experiences inevitably evolve or come to an end. Third, by seeking lessons in change. No matter how challenging, every shift in our lives, no matter how difficult, comes with opportunities to learn and grow. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we can ask, "What can I learn from this?" This shift in perspective can transform change challenges into stepping stones for personal growth and development. Aristotle spoke about the importance of pursuing a virtuous life as the key to happiness. Part of virtue is adaptability, the ability to navigate life's changes with grace and wisdom. It involves finding balance and harmony within the flux of life. Modern psychology supports this Stoic approach. Viewing change as an opportunity rather than a threat can significantly reduce our stress and anxiety levels. It can enhance our resilience and better equip us to handle whatever life throws our way. Let's remind ourselves that change is something to endure and welcome as a natural and enriching part of our journey. By embracing change, we open ourselves to new experiences, growth, and the beautiful unfolding of our unique life paths. Remember, going with the flow isn't about passivity. It's about actively engaging with life in its whole dynamic complexity. Let's navigate the currents of change with courage, grace, and a heart open to change's endless possibilities. Despite our differences, we're all in this together, navigating the complex journey of life. By fostering an understanding and caring attitude towards others, we make the world a kinder, more loving place. The ancient Stoic philosophers, those who continue to enlighten us with their timeless wisdom, placed great importance on the virtues of compassion and empathy. They believed in the interconnectedness of all humanity, emphasizing that kindness and understanding toward others are essential for living a virtuous life. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, famously reminded us that human beings are inherently social creatures, meant to exist in harmony and cooperation with one another. He stated, "What brings no benefit to the hive brings none to the bee," a poignant reminder that our well-being is intricately linked to the well-being of others. Seneca, the esteemed Roman philosopher, emphasized the importance of treating others with kindness and generosity. He argued that compassion is a natural human instinct, asserting that by helping others we ultimately help ourselves. In his writings, Seneca encourages us to extend our empathy even to those who have wronged us, understanding that their actions often stem from personal struggles and limitations. Epictetus taught that we should strive to appreciate others' perspectives, acknowledging that everyone has their reasons for their behavior. This stance does not imply condoning harmful actions. Instead, it encourages us to approach others with empathy, seeking to understand their experiences and viewpoints. But how can we integrate compassion and kindness into our daily lives? It begins with genuinely listening to the stories, experiences, and feelings of those around us. It involves putting ourselves in their shoes and considering their struggles, joys, fears, and hopes. This act of understanding can bridge the divide between us, nurturing a sense of connection and shared humanity. Another way to foster compassion and empathy is through acts of kindness, however small. A smile, a kind word, or a listening ear, each can significantly brighten someone's day. By being present and attentive to others, we convey that they matter, and that their feelings and experiences are both valid and essential. Practicing compassion and empathy also involves being there for others in times of need, offering support and understanding without judgment. It is about recognizing the value and dignity of each person regardless of our differences. Aristotle emphasized the significance of friendship and the importance of empathy in fostering strong, meaningful relationships. He believed that true friends not only share in each other's joys and their sorrows, but also provide support through compassion and understanding. Modern psychology supports the Stoic emphasis on compassion and empathy, demonstrating that these virtues enhance our relationships and contribute to our emotional well-being. By caring for others, we foster a sense of belonging, purpose, and happiness in our own lives. Let's remind ourselves that behind every face is a story, and behind every action is a reason. Understanding and caring for one another, we make the world a kinder, gentler place. In doing so, we're not only enriching the lives of those around us, but also finding deeper fulfillment and joy in our own lives. Together, let's spread kindness like confetti, creating ripples of compassion that transform the world, one act of empathy at a time. This is about taking a pause, a real and meaningful pause, to reflect on our actions, our thoughts, and the paths we've trodden. It's about growth, introspection, and aligning our lives with our most profound values. In a world that's always rushing forward, this practice serves as our anchor, ensuring we're not just swept away but sailing in a proper direction. The ancient Stoic philosophers, with their profound insights into human nature, placed immense value on the practice of reflection. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, offered a model of this practice in his writings, which we now treasure as meditations, presented a model of this practice. He did not merely rule an empire, he took the time to examine his life, decisions, and moral compass through writing. He regarded this reflection as essential to living a life of virtue and purpose. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts, he wrote, reminding us that our internal dialogue shapes our external reality. Seneca, the wise Roman thinker, recommended regular self-assessment as a means to foster self-improvement and wisdom. He likened life to a play, suggesting that we periodically review our roles and performances to ensure they are effective and well executed. Are we acting in harmony with the character we wish to embody? Are our actions reflective of the script we value, the script of our lives? Epictetus encouraged his students to end each day by reviewing their actions and attitudes. This wasn't about self-criticism, but rather about self-awareness and growth. He urged us to ask ourselves, what did I do well? What did I do wrong? What duties were left undone? Through such questions, we can steer our lives more consciously, making adjustments that bring us closer to our ideals. But how do we incorporate this Stoic practice of reflection and review into our modern lives? First, you can set aside a few minutes each day, perhaps before bedtime, to reflect on your day. What were your victories? Where did you face challenges? How did you respond? This practice can begin as a mental exercise, but writing it down can amplify its benefits, providing you with a tangible record of your journey. Second, use reflection as a tool for gratitude. In reviewing your day, note the moments that brought you joy or appreciation, no matter how small. This balances our natural tendency to focus on the negative, cultivating a more positive outlook on life. Third, approach this practice with kindness and compassion toward yourself. Reflection is not about berating yourself for mistakes, but about recognizing them as opportunities for learning and growth. Be as understanding and supportive to yourself as you would be to a dear friend. Aristotle spoke about the importance of living a reflective life. He believed that true wisdom comes from understanding oneself, one's actions, and one's place in the world. This reflection is the essence of living an examined life, one that embodies virtue and excellence. In modern psychology, the benefits of regular reflection are well documented, showing improvements in mental health, clarity of purpose, and personal growth. Reflecting on our experiences helps us process emotions, learn from our actions, and make more informed decisions moving forward. Let's commit to the practice of regular reflection and review. Let it be our guidepost, ensuring that we are not just passively experiencing life, but actively shaping it according to our values. By looking back, we gain the insight needed to move forward more aligned, more aware, and more in tune with the essence of who we are and who we aspire to be. Let's cherish this journey of introspection, for it is in knowing ourselves that we find the path to true fulfillment and joy. These lessons from Stoicism offer more than just ancient wisdom. They serve as practical tools to help us manage stress, make informed decisions, and find peace amid chaos. Remember, it is not the challenges we encounter that define us, but rather the strength we find in confronting them, the wisdom we acquire, and the compassion we extend to others. Each step, each moment of reflection, and every act of kindness contributes to the masterpiece that is your life. Therefore, let us not merely exist, but live with vibrancy, purpose, and authenticity. As we conclude our time together today, I urge you to let your inspiration continue beyond this moment. On the screen, you will find a playlist filled with valuable insights, stories, and strategies to help you navigate life's twists and turns with grace and resilience. I encourage you to explore it, delve deeper, and continue to shape the most genuine version of yourself. Together, let's continue to grow, reflect, and embrace the beautiful complexity of life. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Until our next meeting, remember to live not just for the applause, but for the cause of being your most authentic self. Take care, and I look forward to the next step of our journey together.